Greetings, friends and allies in the Force. This is Master Orion Soul of the Jedi Order on Beggaring Colony, Star Wars The Old Republic. This guide is to help all of our community members, both in the Jedi Order and all of our other guilds that we have in our community, learn how to use their personal abilities to the best of their skill to bring advantages to our player conquest system. So as you all know, recent updates to the game brought player strongholds, guild capital ships, and the player conquest or guild conquest system. So what I'm going to show you guys today in this video guide, holocron if you will, is how to do your best to help support your guild. So with that, the first thing that I want to show you is where you can find out how to do conquest information. What you want to do is click on this button right here at the top on Stronghold. You can see here, this opens up and shows you our guild's stronghold building and our guild capital ship. We need things to unlock the guild capital ship, which are obtained through doing conquest items. A lot of it is crafting, a lot of it is PvP or PvE focused, and so in order to expand the ship and expand our prestige and power on the server, we have a lot of work to do there. So that said, we'll get right into it. Go to your mission log, which is the letter L, open this up, and it normally brings up your mission tab. Well, the tab right next to it is for conquests. So go ahead and click on that, and this opens up where you guys are at currently as a community. It gives you your guild ranking. So we're currently invading, or I like to call it liberating, Makeb. Another guild right now is currently slightly ahead of us by 30,000 points in this conquest of this planet. You can see there's lots of other guilds here who are catching up in the game and trying their best to get a ranking here. Each of the planets has their own leaderboard. So Alderaan has its folks that are competing. Voss has people there competing, and of course Makeb is the planet that the Jedi Order is competing on. So that's how you check that. Your own personal status and rewards. This tells you where you're at in your own personal conquests and what you're doing to help contribute to the guild. Your stronghold bonus. This is your points earned, and this right here is what you get a bonus from decorating your own personal stronghold. So a lot of people, what they're doing is they're running in and dumping all sorts of like furniture items and whatever into their guild or into their personal stronghold in order to increase their bonus. But so let's get right into what you can do to help and what impact that has for the guild. So as you can see here, this guild, Sith Academy, is only about 30,000 ahead. This guild, Infamous, is about 800,000 behind. So we're only really competing against this guild on this server with this this guild. If you look at Voss, for instance, we have Republic Privateers, which is our smuggler guild, competing against these other guilds for Voss, and then Alderaan, we have Republic Spec Forces in 5th or 4th place there. So definitely we got some guilds on the leaderboard trying to reach for #1. How do we do it? What do we have to do in order to earn conquest points? So I'm going to go in best to worst. Best thing that you can do, worst thing that you can do. #1 thing that you can do, I know this is going to sound weird for conquests, but is craft. This is probably the absolute fastest way that you can earn experience. So if you look here under the objectives, balance of power, and the objectives, here are the missions that you can do to earn conquest points. Okay, so if you click here, objectives, you click through each one of these, they describe for you what you have to do to earn them. Well, some of them are grayed out, that just means you can't do them. But here, crafting war supplies, assemble various gathered materials into any of the following war supplies: infantry supply kits, Starship weapons, armored vehicles, crystal capacitors, holocron of strategy, or invasion force. So how do you do that? It's pretty simple. What you do is go to your crafting, and here you can see I'm crafting with Doc. I'm crafting war supplies. The way that you do this is you have to go to your crew skills vendor on the fleet, and you train in all of these skills here. You're going to get, for each crafting, they get a little bit different of a skill. Like, for instance, bioengineers get infantry supplies, whereas, like, you know, cybernetics will get, like, tanks or something like that. But you're able to craft war supplies. Now, these, every single time you craft a war supply, it gives you 1,000 points. Well, if you want, you can see here, this guy's queued up for 5,000 Conquest points. I could literally go through and do this right here, where I craft a whole bunch. There's 5,000 more Conquest points. Here's 5,000 more Conquest points. Here's a few thousand more. And I can keep doing this. Here's a few thousand more. And I'm queuing up for about 20 or so thousand Conquest points just by crafting. Now, each one of these takes an hour to do. So it takes 5 hours, but you get 1,000 crafting points per hour. Well, if you max that out, if you look at that, that means what you can do is you can get 5,000 Conquest points per hour by doing nothing but just crafting with basic materials. If you looked at the material list, let me clear these out real quick. If you look at the material list here, they're actually pretty simple things. It's all green, level 4, level 5 stuff. I mean, it's very easy to craft. These materials don't cost hardly anything to go send your companions to get. Or if you just buy them off the GTN, it's pretty inexpensive. But everybody, if you have 450 crafting or better, you should be doing this, or actually even 400. You should be crafting. It's pretty easy to do, and it garners the fastest amount, the most rapid amount of Conquest points you can get. So once you craft war supplies, right? So I've got a bunch that I'm crafting here. What you're going to want to do is toss them in the bank. We have some of our really hardcore dedicated crafters that then take all of these supplies and they create what's called an invasion force. Again, if you go back and look at your missions, here, this combine every type of war supply into an invasion force. That craft, every time we do one of those, it's 2,000 Conquest points. So if we have everybody working on these, dumping those in the guild bank, and then our top end crafters going out and crafting a bunch of those, it's going to generate a ton of Conquest points. Once you have an invasion force created, which requires infantry supply, armored vehicles, holocrons of strategy, starship weapons, and crystal capacitors, once you have, these come from each of the crafting types, right? Once you have all of those assembled, you can create an invasion force, and then that invasion force is used as the primary crafting component for a project, dark project. Now, this dark project requires a couple of purple items and a couple of blue items, which we're stocking up now as a guild. And so what you're going to want to do is go in and say, okay, I, as an individual contributor to the community, I can go in and craft a bunch of these lower end things, easy to do, not expensive. It earns a lot of Conquest points, not just for yourself, but also for the guild. So definitely go down the crafting path if you can. Once you craft, let me get you down to the the guild hall or the guild bank. Once you craft war supplies, what I'd like you guys to do is come over here to the guild bank and just drop these in the guild bank. Because, and you'll see here, I've been moving them into the council chambers. We have lots of war supplies being crafted, and then those are turned into invasion forces. So if you guys can all help out, contribute, craft away. Now, let's say you're either done setting up your crafters, or you're ready to craft, or you're not a crafter. Either way, if you've done all of that, if you've either started crafting and you're crafting stuff away, or you're not a crafter, once that's out of the way, the next most important thing that you can do, the most valuable conquest item that you can do, is PvP. So if you look at war zones, every single match that you go into, whether or not you win or lose, doesn't matter. You earn 1,000 points. Every time you finish a daily or a weekly, you win 2,000 points. And every time you get to 10 wins, you get 2,000 points. So, and the same thing goes for the space as well, space and ground PvP. Those are infinite, meaning that you can repeat and recur them all the time. So please, 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 if you enjoy PvP at all, set your crafting first, get all your crafting going, and then go hit the war zones, right? Space or ground. Either way, those things garner repeatable XP. Now, the reason why those are probably, well, for sure, crafting's the fastest way. The reason why PvP is probably the second fastest way to get conquest points is because you can do a PvP mission about every 10 to 15 minutes, whereas these others, like, for instance, queuing for flashpoints, queue for random flashpoint, tactical flashpoint, or hard mode flashpoint with group finder and completed, and you get 1,000. Well, even a super fast flashpoint, queuing in a random, is going to take sometimes 30 minutes. I mean, that's very quick, you know, to get through. The average is probably closer to 45 minutes, so that just takes a lot longer. It's a lot slower of a ratio to earn conquest points that way, even when you're getting bonuses for and then again, an operation which can take an hour to 3 hours is only 2,000. They're just not worth it. Now, if you're not really a PvPer nor a crafter, and all you do is PvE, just make sure that you're queuing through the random system, going into Group Finder and queuing up that way, because that's pretty much the only way that you're going to earn conquest points. The other ways that you can do it, like this one, defeat Ogul Siegebreaker, that's a one-time. You see, it's an X right there. That's a one-time thing that you can do to earn conquest points per account. That's like actually by legacy. Critical flashpoints. So if you do the flashpoints and tactical flashpoints, you get bonuses there. Weekly bonuses, you get 4,500. Again, though, it's just really slow. The others, like this one, destroy enemy commanders, we've done this a few times, but you only get credit for it once. However, commanders drop a very important item, and I'll show you what we need for that. I'm going to travel to the Guild Starship. The Guild Starship, in order to advance aspects of the Guild's Starship, we have craft a whole bunch of dark projects in order to buy these specialty crafting items to open the doors on the ship. The other way that you can get them is by going and doing those commanders. If you go kill a bunch of commanders, you can get a bunch of those. They only drop one, and it needs to. If anybody gets it, it needs to go into the guild bank. So we will definitely be setting up groups to go farm those because they're extremely valuable. Think about all the crafting that it takes that's required to get a dark project. It takes 50. There's cool opening scene. It takes 50 dark projects to get one of these crafting items, and we need 5 of them to unlock these doors. So I'll show you what that is real quick. So it's definitely something that you have to do. You have to go do the open world PvP, PvE, killing of commanders in order to garner up what you need to get these right here. Flagship plans. Those are tough, right? They get command framework. Flagship plans give you command framework, and once you have 5 of them, it allows you to then open this door with the correct amount of money. So that's a pretty big goal for us to reach. We could do that potentially by going and killing 5 commanders, which we can easily do as a guild community. But you can also accomplish that through crafting. It just takes a lot longer. So so with that said, you know, basically the purpose of this video is go in, look at the conquests. If you can craft, please, please, please craft as much as you can. We need war supplies up the wazoo. Drop them in the guild bank. You're going to be earning yourself a ton of conquest points for your personal conquest, and we'll be earning a ton towards the items that we need to help with the guild opening its ship stuff. If you're a PvPer and you like to PvP, or even if you're not really a PvPer but you do it occasionally, that's probably the fastest way you can earn conquest points next to crafting. And then anything else like planetary heroics and killing NPCs on the target planets and doing flashpoints and operations, that's all just very slow. It doesn't earn conquest points all that quickly. By all means, though, if you're not a PvPer and you don't like to craft and all you do is PvE and do that kind of stuff, you know, feel free. Just try to make sure that you look at this list of things and do those things, because it helps out with your personal prestige and conquest points, as well as adds to the guild's conquest points. That's pretty much it. I think that if you guys need any help or assistance with anything, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help. I'm typically either on Orion, Master Orion, my Guardian, or Master Orion, my Sage, because those are the 2 characters I'm working on most towards helping out with the conquests. So let's work together, team, and help liberate McKeb. We'll talk to you soon, and I hope you have a great day.